Welcome to the Behind the Bench Sports Network. This is the Kobe Bryant Film Room. And I wanted to get into this topic of why criticism makes you better, right? So a lot of the new school fans, right, we have a war, the new school versus the old school, right? And I hear a lot of the new school NBA fans saying, well, old school, never give us our props, never do this, never do that. And I really want to address that, right? The old school criticizes the younger generation. Why? Because the old school wants the younger generation to carry on tradition. That's important. Carrying on the tradition. What does that mean? The season's 82 games, you play 82 games, right? We play through pain, you play through pain, right? If you want to be that great on that level, you have to play through a certain degree of pain. Now, there's a difference between being injured, right, and being hurt, right? You got to know the difference. Injured, you can't go. Hurt, you can go, right? So the older fans, we watch our greatest legends play through a lot of pain. That doesn't mean you have to play through the same amount of pain today, but it means that you have to play through some type of pain in order to win a championship. If you're not willing to do that, we're not going to think you're as great as those guys. You know, we've seen guys play with broken fingers. We've seen guys play with the flu. We've seen guys play with one arm, like Rajon Rondo. We've seen Isaiah play on one leg. You know, we've seen all-time greats. Larry Bird play with a hurt back. We've seen all-time greats play through pain or being hurt, rather. So that's the first thing, right? And when we criticize these guys for not showing up to games, load management, even though it might be a team thing, but we know the teams probably look out for their players a little bit more nowadays because those players are worth more. We understand that, right? But if the player has the choice, then we expect his ass to be out there, right? Another thing that we have to understand, when we're talking about carrying on tradition, we're talking about the competitive nature of the game. You see, the era's changed, right? People shoot more threes. People are dribbling a lot more. You know, people are just, they're doing a lot of great things out there. But one thing that can't be sacrificed in the game of basketball is the competitive drive, right? The ability to face competition. And what we see is that guys are joining each other instead of competing against each other, taking away the aspect of competition, necessary to be a great. Because that's how we all view greatness. It's about what you can do with what you have, right? So if you're moving around a lot every year on a different team, different jersey, you're devalued to a lot of us. Why? Because it looks like you're trying to curtail the game. You're trying to get around what all the other all-time greats went through. They played with their teams. Whoever was on their team, that's who they had when they were drafted or what the team put around them, and that's how they're supposed to win. Right? Another thing is intangibles. We as old school fans value intangibles all throughout NBA history. Intangibles were important. So when you look at the old school players, right, some of them didn't have the numbers, but they had a lot of intangibles that made them great, that we value, that is valued in the game of basketball. So you might not see a guy like Bruce Bowen have a whole bunch of huge stats, or a guy like Derek Fisher have a whole bunch of stats, right? Have great stats, great numbers. But these guys delivered when you needed them, and they did things on the team that were invaluable, right? So we're going to criticize guys for not playing hard, for not thinking the game, right? Quitting in the middle of a game, not giving it your all during the All-Star game, right? And you don't have to do it for all. We're not saying do it the whole game, but at least the first half can be BS, but the second half has to be all business. That has to be for the fans, competition, right? That's the reason why a lot of people complained about the All-Star game last year, right? The will to be great is another one. The want to be great. You don't think everybody's going to just kiss your butt, because you had a good regular season, right? When you get into the playoffs, that's when you're going to be judged as an NBA legend, fair or unfair. That's how it goes. So if you compete and you do well in the regular season, right? But you don't have, you don't have nothing to show for it, then you're not going to be celebrated that much, Now we're going to look at your statistics and we're going to say, damn, that motherfucker was getting it in. But if you haven't won a title, that's the next step for a great player. We're going to be looking for you to finally win a title. With great numbers comes more responsibility. Okay, you're putting up these MVP numbers. Now it's time to win, right? So our guys are celebrated. The difference between a regular season player and a postseason player is a winning, right? That's the difference between different rooms in the Hall of Fame is winning. You have to win, right? So we're going to put you here when you should be here. So we criticize you because we want you to be better. Another one, all legends dealt with criticism. So it's not a new thing. Oh, well, they just complain about this. It's not complaining. Michael Jordan was criticized. He shoots the ball too much. He doesn't play defense like that, right? On both sides. He's a one-sided player. He can't win, as you can't win without two guard being the best player, scoring the way he's scoring, right? It was a big man's league. Can't win like that, right? Jordan was criticized, y'all, for gambling, things off the court. He was blamed for killing his dad. Kobe was criticized, right? The rape case, the feud with Shaq, he can't win. He's too selfish, He's this, he's that. He can't do it without Shaq, right? He ran Phil Jackson off, right? He's a bad teammate. Kobe was criticized, right? Can't come out of high school and be an impact player right away, right? Criticism, all NBA greats. It's not just the newer guys. And I think a lot of younger fans think, man, they say all this stuff about LeBron, KD, Steph. Man, these old guys just be hating. They use that word hate. No, it's called criticism. People haven't seen you break through the way they feel like you should break through. And with that criticism, sometimes that criticism lasts your whole career. Fair or unfair, that's part of the game. That's part of it, right? So there's not going to be a player in the history of the game who just isn't going to get criticized. I just showed you from Michael Jordan on down, right? Hell, they even said Larry Bird was white. He can't compete with these black guys. They made up something. They make up something. They said Isaiah was dirty, right? They're going to make up something. Magic is Tragic Johnson, right? He has HIV. He shouldn't be playing basketball. He should retire. And so when we talk about criticism, yes, sometimes it's harsh, but there's no positive without negative. It's a part of the game. You get out there and you perform in the bright lights, and then the opinions of you change. Winning heals everything, because when you win, can't nobody really say nothing. People could say whatever they want about Kobe's career. I'm a Kobe Bryant guy. He won 5 chips. There's nothing you could do. You could cry, you could bitch, you could moan. He won 5 championships. He's solidified. And the fact of the matter is, he won 2 over Shaq. So whatever criticism somebody has over your favorite player, understand that yes, some of it is unfair, but guess what? It's a part of the game. One thing you can't take away is the jewelry. You know what I'm saying? It's what they did, right? And so what do? You take that and you internalize that, right? Michael Jordan not being able to start for his high school team, not being able to play for his high school team, getting cut. And then people now believe Michael Jordan is the GOAT, right? He went from humble beginnings, right, to the greatest superstar in sports. So that is what you have to look at, you know. So these players, we get on them because we seen stronger minded players. These players, some of them are weak minded, you know. Some of them, you know, they quit. Just like I'll give you an example, like Devin Booker. Devin Booker doesn't want to be double teamed when he's working on his game in the summer. But what did Kobe give as far as his advice to Devin Booker? Bro, that's a sign of respect. They're saying they can't fuck with you. They can't guard you, right? We see guys showing up to camp out of shape. Guess what? The top guys that we watched growing up, they showed up in shape. Now, you had Charles Barkley, you had Shawn Kemp, and guys like that who got overweight, but they were criticized for it. So it's no different than today. Ben Simmons can't shoot or won't. But it's not really even about him not being able to shoot. It's about him not being aggressive. If you're not aggressive, then guess what? You deserve to hear it until you become aggressive. It's going to make him get into the lab and work on his game. And if not, he's going to have to deal with the consequences from the fans. So what we see on the court is film, right? And we're allowed to criticize. Some of those criticisms were true. Kobe needed to trust his teammates a little bit more. True. Michael Jordan needed to take less shots, right? True. That's what Phil Jackson was for, right? To teach these guys, hey, look, listen, we don't want to lose your teammates, so we're going to create two separate offenses for you guys, right? The criticisms were true. Shaq did need to get in shape. He was overweight. He did take too long to get toe surgery, right? The best place for Shaq was where? Miami, because it forced him to get in shape, right? And people were saying these things back then. Kareem criticized Shaq. He said he's great, but how great is he if he ain't winning? So even LeBron deserved criticism, right? When you look at LeBron, didn't really play off the ball too much. He didn't really take over games in the fourth quarter like he was supposed to. Didn't post up, could have posted up more. His jump shot, was questionable at the three. So those are fair criticisms, right? Steph Curry had to get in the weight room, had to get stronger. People used to call Steph Curry out for his defense, because he was the weak link on Golden State. And so these things are fair criticisms. So I know we're going to have some fanboys in the comment section who are going to be mad. They're going to cry. But that's just going to let me know that y'all soft. You sensitive, you soft, you need to get over yourself. I'm not going to read any of these long paragraph comments. I'm just not going to read it. I don't got time. So, I just wanted to let you guys know that criticism makes you better. Come back, work on your game in the off season, and get better when there's still time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to make you the best basketball player you could possibly be. Look at Bronny, for example. Bronny played bad his first couple of games in the summer league. He took that, internalized it, worked on his flaws of being aggressive and taking more shots. And then look how he played the last couple of games, And I even came on here and I gave him his respect for working on the things that we criticized him for. You know what I'm saying? So once again, shout out to the bench crew. Subscribe, like and subscribe to the Behind the Bench Sports Network, and also like and subscribe to the Kobe Bryant Film Room. We appreciate you guys watching our videos. We really do, y'all. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the notifications so you can get a notification every time a video drops. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for watching. Peace.